Gettysburg Museum of History Studios.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Addressing Gettysburg's Ask a Gettysburg Guide. And today we have a little treat for you. We're doing something a little different. We're talking about Sun Tzu at Gettysburg. A lot of people say, was he at Gettysburg? No, he wasn't. But the principles in his art of war were. And Ralph Siegel is here with us today, our guest, as he's been here many times before. Many love Ralph. Ralph, this was your idea, this topic, correct?
Yes, it was the first time we recorded it.
Yes. Yeah. And we are doing it again. The camera at the time was, they were the old cameras, and they just, I didn't like the way they looked. And so I said, you know what, we got new cameras, let's hold off and do it again. And that's what we're
tell
doing.
them the real story.
Ralph came in a kimono.
I channeled Sun Tzu.
Yeah, Ralph
it
came
wasn't
in.
a kimono.
Yes, it was a kimono.
It was manly man clothing.
No, it was.
It was pants and a gi and a bandana and Matt had an Equal Opportunity Employment Commission freak out.
Yes. I was like, this is not going to fly very well in this day and age. By the way, Mikey B is with us as well tonight. Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm here. I'm excited. Thank you, audience.
Welcome.
That's wonderful.
People do love you, I must tell you.
Yeah,
and I tell you that all the time. Your mom and your dad call me all the time, and they say that my kid is great. And in the back there, Courtney Micker. Did you know, Ralph, that Courtney he's developing, it's not fully there, an impression of you. Did you know this?
For what possible reason?
Comedic.
All right.
Would you like to hear it? Now, you want to, here, Court, you be Ralph.
Like you're embarrassing him.
Yeah, I am. Well, he's nervous because
this is the big
first time.
Yeah,
this is the big one.
It's not ready.
It's just, let's go with what we got so far.
Do you want the beaver t-shirt?
You want the beaver t-shirt?
There you go.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Let's do like this.
Wait,
you want the
close your eyes and guess which Ralph is talking. That's what you have to guess.
Dueling
which Ralph
Ralphs.
is Ralph.
Okay. No, but this is...
now, Matthew, right?
Yeah.
It's close.
Go ahead.
I think.
You're getting there.
I listened to his Peach Orchard episode so many times, and for some reason, he came up, and I just... I don't know.
It's a good James Gandolfini. I'll give him that.
It's really Bernie Sanders. It's what
there's more Brooklyn.
Yeah, right. But you're originally from New York, right?
Queens.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have nothing to do with people from Brooklyn.
No.
Vice versa.
Yeah, you don't want them.
Someone said a whole lot of New Jersey in that room.
I was just going to say.
Correct.
Yeah. This is...
I spent my adult life in New Jersey. So it seems like, because nobody's born in New Jersey.
I was. He was.
My wife was too.
Yeah.
There's 3 people born in New Jersey. No one else.
I was born
There's
in
a whole lot of unfortunate souls.
A lot of New Yorkers end up in New Jersey. And so I think of myself as a Jersey person, even though I grew up in the city.
There you go. Fair enough. My grandparents moved from Brooklyn to New Jersey. Or my grandfather, I should say. Why? Because
they were in Brooklyn.
They were in Brooklyn, yeah. And at the time, it was not going well. But also, the whole idea wasn't to stay in places like that. The idea was to work your way up and get the hell out.
Yeah.
Get out. Get property. Get away from crowded tenements and things like that.
Chase the pizza and go where they pump the gas for you.
You know
That's
what?
really
New
what the
Jersey
dream is.
needs the pizza, is what my grandfather said. And so he moved out to New Jersey and became a butcher. So today we're talking about Sun Tzu at Gettysburg. Ralph, tell us a little bit about this. Where did you get the idea for this first?
Well, first we have to channel his presence. So let's hold hands.
Christ.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Come on, Matt. Do it right.
Sorry.
Do it the right way.
Yeah, okay.
And do I believe he may be with us. The spirit of Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu's spirit is when people can talk about controversial military topics in his spirit, and you can be Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, male, female, in between, transitioning. It doesn't matter. There's peace and tranquility when we discuss war. because
of the spirit of
principles
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu in a very positive, We have
feels
pictures. Can we pull up pictures? Is that doable?
Give me a second while you're talking.
We have
Go ahead.
Sun
Keep
Tzu
talking.
painting, National Geographic, a nice painting
Hold on,
of Sun
let me
Tzu.
pull them up. I lost them here for a second. Go ahead, sorry. So we have a painting of Sun Tzu. This is probably this nice one here.
Yes, it's a nice one.
Hold on, Corey. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can I? That doesn't really help.
Remember, this is live, so every second that goes by is more and more embarrassing.
Exactly. That's how it works. Keep talking. I will download this.
Well, he's a big deal in China.
Yes.
As you can imagine.
Yes. His native land, correct?
His native land. We are going to go with the prevailing wisdom that he lived between 550 and 496 BC, which goes backwards.
So we don't know exactly when he lived.
No, around there. The problem is we don't know if he ever existed. So it's
really?
It's worse.
It's worse.
But Sun Tzu is hotter than ever. When we first recorded the show and you deleted it out of a fit of conservatism,
what's it?
I went on to Amazon. I went on to Amazon at that time, and I did it again this afternoon, and just put in a search for Sun Tzu and the Art of War. There were 1,400 hits.
Yeah.
This is Amazon. I'm not saying Google.
Right.
There were 1,400 books on sale on Amazon that responded to that title.
Yep.
So and maybe videos and other stuff too, and the famous miniseries, Sun Tzu miniseries starring Jackie Chan. I'm kidding. No miniseries.
God. Go ahead, Corey. You could go to the picture here. This is the painting now.
There we go.
Sun Tzu.
That's from a National Geographic commissioned painting, a very nice painting of the great Sun Tzu. There's also a Chinese watercolor and pen and ink picture.
I'll get to that
him.
once Cord takes this down.
Sun Tzu painting.
Okay.
And the Chinese make a very big deal about Sun Tzu in the city of Suzhou.
Is that where they think he's from?
Kind of, but that's where they buried him.
Was it? No. How? Okay. What do you mean we're not even sure he existed?
Well, we'll go into that. But the Chinese don't want to hear about it. He exists. There's his tomb in Suzhou, and not only is that, they built a Disney World of Sun Tzu. I mean, there is a 15-acre amusement park.
Really?
That had the Sun Tzu. The Art of War is in 13 chapters. This is a compound of 13 buildings. Okay. Where the sayings in the chapters are inside you just walk in and you immerse yourself in Sun Tzu.
It's like the Stations of the Cross at Easter for Catholics.
Except this is all the time. It has a happier ending, and no one goes there, apparently, according to Condé Nast Traveler. They had the top 20 visitor sites in China, and it didn't make the top 20 list. So I'm not sure. It may be just the government. The Chinese, they do that. The government just puts things up.
Sure. Yeah. Like
but nevertheless, Sun Tzu's a big deal. And we don't know anything about him at all in the West until 1910. So really, way past the Civil War, yeah.
So then, because one of the things we talked about, I think, on the last time was that the generals here at Gettysburg or in the Civil War would not have known of him. They wouldn't have studied him. Who was it that they would have studied?
And even if they had known him, they certainly wouldn't have studied him because they are completely Western-oriented.
Yes. They love John Wayne movies.
The transcendentalists are making an impression on American culture. Nathaniel Hawthorne and
the other guy,
the guy
Henry
who lived
David
by the lake,
Thoreau.
Henry David Thoreau, and others, and they're making an impression, but they certainly haven't impacted military thinking. And the transcendentalists would be more inclined to look at the thinking and theories of other cultures and get away from Western Europe. These guys are all about Napoleon.
Yes,
and that's what's taught at West Point, and they think of nothing else today. Sun Tzu's Art of War is regarded as the greatest military text in human history. Dating to 600 or 500 BC, and it's studied in graduate schools. It's studied in MBA programs. It's a very famous book now, and you can spend coffee table money, like $80, $100 for a picture book of Sun Tzu. And that's up to you. You know, you want to have a picture book, that's great. But it's available for free at MIT.
Okay.
So you can go to their website. I give you the address. I'll show it up to you in the camera really fast. There you go. All right. But, you know, in the world of Google, you'd type MIT Classics Art of War, and it'll get you there.
Okay.
And they have the original translation from a British historian named Lionel Giles. And his is considered the most credible translation. Now, we know, I don't know if we all know, we'll know now that, you know, Jesus didn't speak Greek
English
or Hebrew.
Oh, right. He
He spoke English. He spoke Aramaic.
Right.
A language that no longer exists.
Yeah.
There are languages in the ancient world, probably more than not, that vanished. Senitic Chinese is one of those.
Okay.
So what Sun Tzu spoke and wrote in is a language that no longer exists.
So even in China, they wouldn't know how to
There's
speak
no
it.
connection to Mandarin, Han China, any of the other Chinese. China itself has like 200 dialects of Chinese.
Yeah.
A Chinese literary scholar, a PhD in Chinese literature, cannot read Sun Tzu in the original text. So they rely on people who do the Rosetta Stone sort of type of try to decipher what the characters mean and get the language, get the words from there. And therefore there's dispute. And I like Lionel Giles because he worked at the British Museum because he made such hilarious comments about everybody else who made translations. So before doing his translation, he had to make comments about everybody else. It was translated by a French Jesuit, Joseph Amiel, and Lionel Giles said there's more Bible in there than Sun Tzu. Then a French officer, English officer in 1905 translated it. Everard Calthrop, who was a commanding officer in China, and Lionel Giles said that the translation contains a great deal that Sun Tzu did not write and very little indeed of what he did. So these translations are very much in dispute. He calls it's not a question of downright blunders. So we haven't really had a good workable translation till Lionel Giles sort of cracked the code on what these words might mean. For instance, the art of war, the word war is the same character word for warfare and is the same character word for diplomacy. So it could be argued that it's the art of diplomacy.
Okay.
Art of war, like, you know, and you go to Clausewitz, you know, war is an extension of politics by another means.
Sure.
He's like, maybe he's channeling Sun Tzu.
Okay.
So,
or just stating the obvious.
So a little more, and so you can go to the MIT website. There's also a terrific website called suntzusaid.com. And it clicks on, and it clicks to all the chapters and the things. Very easy, user-friendly website where you can put in a theme and it'll give you the quotes, the stuff that we're going to do according to a theme. Sun Tzu is also known as Sun Tzu and also Sun Tzu. And he was a strategist in the Wu State Empire under King Hilo. And he was a strategist and a military trainer. He was possibly a military officer. He was possibly just a writer. And he's possibly a composite fabrication of multiple people who never existed. Here's the problem. His name, Tzu, means master.
Okay.
All right. So Sun Tzu means master son.
What does sun mean?
Good question there, Matt. It means fugitive or imaginary person.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So master imaginary is one of the translations of Sun Tzu.
Or imaginary master.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oops.
So, you know how some people say Shakespeare didn't exist? And
Bigger problem.
What's that? Okay, just...
The art of war talks about generals. In the period in which Sun Tzu was alive, that concept didn't exist yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They don't have military commanders as such. They have aristocrats who take their feudal subjects out to battle.
Okay.
And they don't really have military title. And you read The Art of War, and it's about generals making decisions. Yeah, that's the most troublesome. But let's unwind that. 100 years later, Sun Bin. is writing.
Okay.
He writes a text called, drum roll please, The Art of War. And Sun Bin is a much more colorful guy, and we know a little bit more about him. He was a commanding officer, a general in the Qi state, Qi state. And General Peng was jealous of him and made up stories. And Sun Bin was falsely accused of treason. He was sentenced to treason. And instead of being executed, they took a branding iron and burned his face.
Ooh.
Or burned derogatory statements into his face.
Okay.
And then they removed his kneecaps so that he could no longer walk. And,
Kill me.
And so Pang wanted to force Sun Bin in prison to write the text that he would then take credit for. And Sun Bin refused and pretended he was insane. And one of the things apparently he did in the barn is he would eat animal poop. And it convinced him he was nuts. And so they exiled him as a homeless pauper into the street, where his loyal soldiers rescued him and took him to the neighboring Wei province, where Sun Bin became the commanding officer of their army and went back and destroyed the Qi Empire and killed all those guys that chopped off his legs.
Yeah.
And it's very remarkably similar to Shakespeare's play Coriolanus.
What about Uranus?
Thank you very much. We're live. What happened to Pluto? What I want to know. It's a name of a play in which a general gets exiled from Rome, takes command of the enemy, and destroys Rome. So I wonder if Shakespeare knew about this story. So anyway, some people think he wrote it.
Right.
And so because there is a general, and he's a general. And this, believe it or not, doesn't get solved till 1972. When they are unearthing a partially buried Buddhist tomb in the Shandong province, and they find both texts, copies of Sun Tzu and Sun Bin, next to each other as separate documents. And up until then, and so that basically killed the idea that one guy wrote for the other.
Right, okay.
Because they found two separate texts written in two different hands. I think this stuff's fascinating. I know half your audience is now watching the Wednesday night football game, except there isn't one.
They're probably watching reruns of Reba.
It is fascinating because we've all heard of the name. We've all heard of a lot of the things that are in there. And it's just as old as things like Homer's writing, from the 8th century. But this is still practical stuff. Like, I think you'd be challenged to find something that's still practically used.
Yeah, it's one of those truths of life that never goes away.
I think he has to be real. I think he was a person. There's a tomb. God knows who's in there. But,
could it have been that someone wrote it with a, as that was like a nom de plume, perhaps to save themselves? Maybe it was seditious to write about war if you weren't part of the government or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, don't give them tips.
Very few people are writing. Very few people have the power of writing language.
The pen.
And in many parts, in many of the states in China, it was illegal if you weren't the right person. There were appointed scribes.
Right.
And so if you were not a appointed person and they found out that you were able to write, that was considered to be insidious because you could write messages to others in other empires.
Right. So that makes I'm someone who learned how to write, although I wasn't supposed to. I don't want people to know, so I call myself Sun Tzu. And then all the officials are running around every town going, does anybody know Sun Tzu? Who's this Sun Tzu guy?
Now the Sun Tzu, the evidence is a little better than that because there were dozens of copies of these scrolls made at the time. You're not doing that if it's not an important person.
Right.
If it's not, because it's very expensive. And we have a picture of the scrolls, Court.
No.
Called Art of War Wooden Scrolls.
And these are also redone or re-recorded in like the 10th and 11th century AD, right? So
there's biographers who write about him, and then they claim to translate Sun Tzu because by the time we're talking about AD, the Senitic language is gone. And so these are more modern Chinese dialectic languages.
Oh wow! So I didn't realize it died out by then.
Translating it as if we were.
Yeah.
And you have those kinds of so that's what they look like. These
so like
wooden bamboo strips that are written on and then rolled up into urns that are sealed, and sometimes sealed for hundreds of years to prevent moisture from
mold
getting in.
growth.
And they'll find dozens of these.
Huh. So they would write on a bamboo strip like that.
Yeah.
And and they write up or down, right?
Yeah, it's vertical. Chinese.
So
vertically.
every one of those strips is its own saying.
Yeah, probably. I don't know enough about it.
Oh, you don't know how to read that?
That sounds. Yeah, no. Nobody knows how to.
And
read
you said it was 1910 when the English.
Lionel Giles, who was a historian and linguist at the British Museum, deciphered the language.
I mean, the proximity of that to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs is fascinating. That both of them are
in the same place and the same group of heads.
That's
You
that's
know, the guys who then found the Rosetta Stone and made sense of it. That was a few decades earlier, but they said, "Oh, this is the key to everything." And what are you talking about? It's the key to everything. It's a lady holding a cat with a ball. Yeah, but it means
right.
rain.
Yeah.
What? Where are you getting that? And it's all from the Rosetta Stone. This is the Chinese characters to us who don't know how to read Asian languages. Looks like, well, that's Chinese until you hand it to someone who's Chinese and I don't know what the hell that is.
That's not, yeah.
Yeah. It's got too many lines on it. I don't know what that means.
Right.
You know.
No. Why can't they just write like us?
Because it evolves.
Exactly.
They're asking why we couldn't just write like them.
I know, they're older.
We're talking at a time where maybe 1-2% of the population is writing. And so now that more people start writing, they probably simplify the characters over the hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You know?
Huh.
I mean, I'm making that up, but it seems logical. I didn't read that.
So how does he show up at Gettysburg, though? How does Sun Tzu
He shows up because I bring him here.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't show up at all. There's no thinking about Asian theory at all. I'm not even sure it's even in the doctrine today. I don't know what they do at West Point.
I mean, they must study this at West Point.
I'm not sure they do because it's more recognized as a business strategy text.
Philosophical. Or something.
But I use it on the tour that I call the Shadows Tours that I do, that I've been doing for now 6 years for the foundation. And the object of that tour is to make people think and to maybe question some of the assumptions we have about the Battle of Gettysburg. And so there's a famous saying of Sun Tzu that's the premise for why I thought we would come here and talk about it, because so far your Civil War friends are sitting and saying, what the hell are we doing? In ancient China, is somebody going to shoot somebody anytime soon? Can somebody read an official report?
Right.
Is there gunpowder yet?
There is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's where they got it from. They got it from the Chinese, black powder.
Yeah.
You know, and pasta, by the way.
I know. Marco Polo stole it.
All that stuff the Italians are eating, it's all lo mein, just different shapes.
I wonder if the swimming pool game Marco Polo originated in China.
They clearly did.
Because they were looking to find him for stealing goddamn pasta.
I believe the rules to the game of Marco Polo are one of the slats of the Sun Tzu.
Wow.
Sun Tzu invented Marco Polo.
Marco Polo didn't invent the game. He just found the text.
Blowing the roof off.
No, we're making this up, people.
So
right?
Paul Witt says Sun Tzu and Clausewitz are still quite heavily used in PME, which is, of course, pre-military execution.
I was going to say I found a course at West Point HI 385 that talks about war and its theorists. Then they talk about
now. Why would MIT be a leader? Studying Sun Tzu? You would think it would be Harvard, or Columbia, which are the world's leading archaeology and anthropology programs. Why MIT? The mathematics of the characters and how they associate to the language. That's how Lionel Giles broke the codes.
Oh.
There's an angle line that goes up here, and I noticed it in these 7 characters. There must be something in common with them.
Did he know how to speak the
I don't think anybody did.
No. Did he know how to speak or read the Chinese, whatever language they spoke of his day? Like, did he have anything to start with, or was it like? I
assume he spoke Chinese because he was their Sino, one of their. He's in charge of the collection of Sino artifacts. the British Museum.
Yeah.
It's the biggest fence in the world.
Right.
A fabulous
Biggest
gallery of all the stuff we stole from everybody else.
I thought that's what you said, the biggest fence. Yeah.
It's look at the stereos I got. Look at these Egyptian heads. Wow, aren't they from Egypt? And so they have a big Chinese Sino collection of artifacts and things. And they probably, I don't know, I didn't go there. They probably have a copy of the tract because there are more than one. PME
is professional military education, by the way.
All right.
Just so that people...
Well, here's the phrase that I want our viewers at home to sit down and get themselves a little bourbon and contemplate. Otherwise, I should show
You've got some Elijah Craig tonight. I've got some Johnny Black. You guys took the rest
Sun
of the...
Tzu action figures that I can show.
Oh, yeah, hand them to me. I'll put them in this...
Ooh.
There you go. There's one of them.
This is a scribe, and this is a general. This would be what we would expect Sun Tzu to look like. These are the terracotta. Well, not these. These are action figures. These are souvenirs from an exhibit at the Franklin Institute in 2018 of the terracotta warriors from China. And
what's the third
11
one?
of them traveled the world. This is the scribe. I misidentified the general. There's one of the officers, and then there's an archer.
Wait. Hold on.
And these are models of the actual...
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
All right.
The bow isn't in his hand.
This guy
anymore.
is who? Oh, that's
Archer.
Not much
He's
better.
an archer.
There he is. He's an archer. There's the archer. Sorry. There's no light back here.
Here, try your...
Let's do that. That's better. Okay, there we go.
I'm sure they're on eBay, but you can't have mine.
Okay, that's the archer. Let me see the other ones here. This is who?
Let me check eBay.
This is a officer.
This is an officer. All right, he looks like an officer.
And this is the general. This is what we would expect Sun Tzu to look like because it's the same period.
Mr. Tzu. There he is.
That's just Mr. Sun, but we'll take it.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. Mr. Sun. I thought that was just Korean.
No, they all do that.
They all do that. Okay.
Except the Japanese stuff.
They do have the statues on eBay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
What is that? The Sphinx?
No, it's a Shih Tzu.
Hey, this is a family show.
That's what it's called.
All right.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds of these terracotta warriors, clay soldiers that made an army that were buried with an emperor from the Qi dynasty, I think, whichever dynasty, one of them. And they're a national treasure in China, and they took 11 of them, carefully packaged, and traveled the world on a world tour.
Yeah.
Are those the famous ones they have, like, I think they're on display, and they've recreated the burial?
Yeah, it was a burial. It was a burial trench.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
And he brought a whole terracotta army with him.
Yeah.
And they packaged up 11 of them, and they did a world tour, including to the Franklin Institute. And we went to go see him, and my daughter slipped into the gift shop and bought me the Sun Tzu action figure set.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm calling it action figures, but that's what they are. So I bring them in because otherwise they're in my house where nobody ever sees them. I want the people at home with their bourbons to think about this, whatever battle it is you study, whatever period of military history you study. I'm looking at them at home. Every battle is won or lost before it is ever fought.
Yes, that is a famous one of his.
It's so famous. You'll be happy to learn along the myth building and breaking that we've been doing that he never actually said that.
Shakespeare said it.
Yeah, no, it's
Eisenhower.
It's an amalgamation.
Damn it.
Now, I think it's fair, but the amalgamation is from these two sayings in chapter 4. Thus it is that in war the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. So yeah, they're complicated. None of them are that simple. But I mean, he's saying, the strategist only seeks battle after he's already had a victory. What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry. What the heck does that mean? Since we're live, we can actually say anything.
Well, yeah,
Scream out at MF, and we're off to the races, and the FCC will call you, and you'll be right next to Jimmy Kimmel on the saying number 13.
First Jimmy, now Matt.
Same chapter.
No one's going to make a big deal when I go.
I will.
Okay, Ralph will.
I'll set myself on fire. No. Making no mistakes is what establishes a certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. So if you make no mistakes, he's already beaten. Remember what Robert E. Lee says when he learns, we think he says, the sources are a little thin, but most guides accept the quote, when he learns Meade has been appointed. General Meade will make no error on my front.
George Meade.
And if I make one, he will not hesitate to take advantage of it. Right now,
Pennsylvania, man.
So between these two sayings is the amalgamation, every battle is won or lost before it is ever fought. And any battle that people study, you can apply that. Now I'm not, by the way, having studied this and having already discussed this for endless hours on a podcast that was deleted and now talking about it again, I'm not sure I buy this.
By which?
Me. I don't think, I'm not necessarily sure I buy every battle is won or lost before it is ever fought.
Yeah, sometimes stuff happens.
I think during a battle, things can happen that can change the outcome.
Sure.
Where this implies that once the first shot is fired, the outcome is already decided.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting idea.
It is.
When did Eisenhower win the D-Day landings? When he postponed the landings from May to June so he could have more landing craft.
So it was won before
it started. Because he's coming in, he made the decision to not jump at the first date, to wait till the second date, even though it was risky and the weather scared them all, because he had more landing craft.
Right.
And there's landing with more power. When did Robert E. Lee win the Battle of Chancellorsville? When he saw what Hooker was doing and he moved at him with a smaller army, which is not what Hooker thought was going to happen. And exposed Hooker.
But that wasn't a decision Hooker made. So he didn't lose. So if they're saying it's won or lost before,
I would say the decision there was that Hooker was in charge, and so that was what lost the battle. Because the guy who's going to lose his nerve the moment somebody comes near him.
Yeah, Mikey B.
I'm sure somewhere Sun Tzu talks about food and how important it must be to an army. There's
a whole chapter on logistics for people. Yeah.
We have some great people, especially Matt Gillespie, who just donated to help us pay for our pizza tonight with a super chat.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you
very much.
Sun Tzu would be proud.
And that's what he says. No question. I just want to buy pizza. Thank you.
An army moves on its stomach.
Yeah. And an army moves on. That's Napoleon, though, isn't it?
Napoleon said, Sun Tzu said the army needs lo mein. No, I'm kidding. He didn't. Doesn't talk about food that way.
Okay, good.
I'm sure he's got something about starving forces.
I love lo mein.
But my point before with the big expensive coffee table books is it's 13 chapters with between 18 and 25 phrases. There's no reason to buy his big book, and you can download Lionel Giles's translation at the MIT website and look at it for yourself. I have a little copy that I forgot to bring with me because
I'm on it right now. The Art of War by Sun Tzu, translated by Lionel Giles, right there.
Every battle is won or lost before it is ever fought. So Robert E. Lee loses the Battle of Gettysburg. I hope most of our viewers can accept that fact. I know it's still a source of strain.
Some people have a hard time.
It may be getting rewritten as we speak with certain people.
You never know. You never know.
Office, But in any case, at the moment, Robert E. Lee lost the battle. Where did he lose it?
Messersmith's Woods.
There you go. Because you remember the recording.
No, I don't.
In fact, we have a sign.
That's why I know.
We have a sign.
Let me find it there.
Messersmith Woods.
Hold on.
State Historical.
God, you got to send bigger pictures, Ralph. These are
they really?
tiny little.
Oh, I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't know
you need
that.
to get like high quality photos. You can't just go.
I thought they were good pictures.
Well, they were at one time, but they must have been copied over and over again. That they're very, very small now. So I'm going to try to blow them up through the modern military science that I'm doing. Okay, go ahead.
That looks good.
Pizza Hut.
Right by Pizza Hut.
There it is.
Messersmith's
That's
Woods.
not so bad looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sign is in the parking lot of the Pizza Hut on Route 30 between Interstate 81 and downtown.
Chambersburg.
Of Chambersburg, I'm sorry. Yes,
okay.
Of course, Chambersburg. So if you're leaving Chambersburg, it will be on your right. And if you hit Route 81, you went too far. You missed it.
Right.
Now, behind the Messersmith Woods is the Lincoln Cemetery. And the wrought iron gate archway is still there. You have to see it from off. It's not along the road. It's like 20 feet back or maybe a little bit more. But you can see it. So from the Messersmith Woods sign and the Pizza Hut, and I think there's an AutoZone or something, but the Pizza Hut's still there. God knows why. And you go past it like 10 feet, you can make a right turn into the Lincoln Cemetery. And it's open to the public. I've taken tours in there. I've talked to the people first. I said, yeah, well, it's open.
Right.
We don't have guards, you know.
Right.
We assume most of the people coming here are visiting. Most of the people here are visiting a relative.
Yeah.
But you're certainly free to come in here and do a talk or whatever. Just
ironic though, it's not taxpayer funded, right?
No, it's a private cemetery.
Yeah, and you're allowed in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of cemeteries are. Otherwise, you have to secure it. How do you do that?
No, but I'm saying, you can't do tours in the cemetery.
And Lee's camp was there somewhere. Lee camped in the Messersmith Woods.
Right.
So, you guys rein me in if I go too fast with too much, but we have Gettysburg. We're pretty good Gettysburg knowledge people.
Yes.
Second Corps moves up with 3 divisions.
Second Army of Northern Virginia Corps.
Moves up, goes into Chambersburg, immediately keeps moving. 1 division goes east through the Cashtown Pass. Jubal Early arrives in Gettysburg, scares the snot out of everybody, threatens the kids, and then takes what he can get and keeps going. 2 other divisions under Richard Ewell's Corps move north toward Harrisburg. As we're frequently asked, well, what happens if the Union Army doesn't come up into battle? We're all visiting Harrisburg National Military Park. That's where the battle's going to be if nothing happens.
Do you ever think of that and think that you wouldn't have moved to Harrisburg if there was a battle there?
Oh, I moved to Camp Hill.
No. I'm saying like it wouldn't have been the same. There's something about Gettysburg itself, the space, the place.
It causes the armies to concentrate, right? They probably couldn't have concentrated as well in Harrisburg because there's multiple main thoroughfares that never intersect.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
Gettysburg, all the roads come together.
I understand. I'm saying you, Ralph Siegel, would not have fallen in love with Harrisburg like you did Gettysburg. I would not have fallen in love with Harrisburg like I did Gettysburg.
But that's assuming that Harrisburg would be...
It would be. It's the state capital.
Oh, geez.
They'd have a little park. They call it Battlefield Park. It would be like 4 acres. That would be it.
They have a nice park up along the river, which is where the fighting would be.
See? They had a park already for him.
Yeah. At any rate.
Yes.
A.P. Hill's 3rd Corps is the next coming up. And they arrive in Chambersburg on Thursday and Friday. And so Robert E. Lee has moved 6 of his 9 divisions, never mind the cavalry, up into Chambersburg. 3 divisions keep going. 3 divisions are holding. Longstreet is in the tail. 1st Corps, 3 divisions. He's in the back. He was guarding the Blue Ridge passes. He was basically clearing the way for the other corps to move. 2nd Corps moved up first, then Longstreet's corps is blocking the passes and the Blue Ridge so that 3rd Corps can move up behind him. They cross, and the 1st Corps is the last to cross the Potomac River and move up into Maryland to Hagerstown. Robert E. Lee, on Saturday, I believe, orders, Saturday or Sunday, orders Longstreet to keep moving and come up to Chambersburg. Those orders come to him. He makes those orders in his tent in the Messersmith Woods. Mm-hmm. And I don't take many tours out there, but I have taken tours where where we're on this topic and we're going for multiple hours, and I'll drive up the old Route 30 and stop at the Elephant Museum and get some candy, and then keep going. And we'll go to the Messersmith Woods, and we'll go in there and say, here is where he lost the battle. Here's where he lost the war. Because he has Longstreet come up to Chambersburg. He's moving north. The South Mountain bends to the east and goes away.
Right.
The Blue Ridge, all the way from Georgia to Pennsylvania, and there it ends as the South Mountain bends to the east and points like a gun toward Harrisburg. And the entire Army of Northern Virginia is on a flow toward Harrisburg with Richard Ewell out in front, Stonewall Jackson's foot cavalry. They're fast marchers and they're way out in front. And this is the way the Army of Northern Virginia functions. Longstreet with the muscle is coming in. Jackson with the adventurous, fast-moving brigades way up in the front. It's just like he wrote it. And in the Messersmith Woods, he orders Longstreet to come up, and that's where he loses the battle.
Now, why?
What if he had let Longstreet stay 12 miles behind in Hagerstown or Waynesboro, somewhere down there? Why concentrate 6 divisions in Chambersburg on your way north? You got 3 divisions there. It's almost 20,000 men. It's enough. Why are you pulling Longstreet up from Waynesboro?
Is it because he wants to move the rest of the army up to Harrisburg?
It's never addressed. Yeah, well, that's the immediate thought. But he should have been thinking, I might need to move east at any moment quickly.
Yes.
I mean, he is moving north, Lee is moving north to draw the Union Army out for a battle. And I'll say a controversial thing. I warned my guests on tours. I said, look, this is a little controversial, but I'm going to say it. I've been a guide for 20 years. I'm entitled. Lee didn't come north to win a battle. Lee's coming north to end the war.
Yes.
To end the war, he has to tear the Army of the Potomac to shreds. Battle of Fredericksburg, big victory. Guess what? Union Army pulls back on the Falmouth Heights with all of its cannon. They get away. Chancellorsville, I learned and now believe from a tour I did down there with Greg Mertz, the idea is to try to separate the Union Army from the Rappahannock River. That's what gets Jackson killed. Jackson's riding to the left, to the north, to see where he can separate the Union Army from its retreat point across the river.
Yeah. Which
is exactly what they do tomorrow. They retreat across the river, and the Army gets away despite this great victory. He never can get the Union Army out in the open. Jackson wanted to facilitate that, goes riding off in the direction, and he's coming back, and the North Carolina picket line is not expecting anyone friendly to be coming from that direction, and they open fire, and that's how he gets wounded and dies a week and a half later. What's he scouting in that direction for? Because he's trying to find a way to do what Lee wants. Break them off from their base, keep them in the middle, and wreck them, instead of letting them withdraw. He's not going to do that in Pennsylvania. He's going to pull these guys all the way out. The Army is going to be out in the open, and he's going to shred them and bring the war to an end. So he's moving north. He should have had it in his mind of a sudden need to move east. I think we had a map.
Well, we do have a map.
South Mountain,
all ready to go for you there.
South Mountain passes map. We should put that up there. So these are the ways you cross South Mountain.
Now, this is a 2-scale, and this is, I believe, what the Army uses to this day.
That is from the West Point map, but that's my artwork on it. So it is my goofy little arrows. But, everybody thinks of Gettysburg as 10 major roads. South Mountain is crossed by 2 roads. The Chambersburg Pike going through the Cashtown Gap and the Waynesboro Pike going through the Monterey Pass.
That's right.
If Longstreet is in Waynesboro or Hagerstown, he can cross the Monterey Pass. But by moving them up to Chambersburg, Lee has 6 of his 9 divisions jammed in Chambersburg.
So it's a choke point is what you're saying.
Well, it's going to be one when they suddenly start moving east.
Yes, okay, I get it now.
It's fine when we're moving north, but all of a sudden orders go out, concentration Cashtown.
Right.
Ewell is like salivating, looking at him. He didn't literally look at Harrisburg. Maybe he did. But cavalry is within sight of Harrisburg. His forces are still in Mechanicsburg and elsewhere. They didn't really get up to Harrisburg yet. Early is supposed to cross the Susquehanna River and move north on the east side. Of course, they burned a bridge before he can get across. But his idea is a pincer attack, 2-sided attack on Harrisburg. Now, all of a sudden, all bets are off. And Ewell, who did such a brilliant job snatching Winchester, Virginia, and capturing 5,000 prisoners, this is Jackson's replacement. He's the guy. And here he has a chance to invest the state capital, and his orders are no concentration Cashtown. He doesn't know what hell Cashtown is.
Right.
And so now everybody's moving south. And, of course, the orders as the movement is occurring shifts from Cashtown to Gettysburg because they're already engaged. When the orders came in, Lee is thinking we're going to avoid an engagement until we get everybody together. And the Union, by the way, has a perfect picture of this. A letter it is in the OR, it's in the correspondences. This is Buford. I'm satisfied A.P. Hill's corps is massed just back of Cashtown, about 9 miles from here, Gettysburg. Pender's division of this corps came up today, of which I advise you, saying the enemy in my front is increasing. The enemy's pickets are within 4 miles of this place on the Cashtown Road. He means the Chambersburg Pike. That's what they call it. It's the road to Cashtown.
Sure.
My parties have returned and went north, northwest, northeast after crossing the road from Cashtown to Oxford in several places. They heard nothing of any force having passed over it lately. The road, however, is terribly infested with prowling cavalry. Near Heidlersburg today, one of my parties captured a courier of Lee's. Nothing was found on him, but he said Ewell's corps is crossing the mountains from Carlisle. Rhodes' division being at Petersburg in advance. That's the old Petersburg, is north of us. Longstreet,
was Biglerville, wasn't it? Yeah.
Longstreet, from all I can learn, is still behind Hill. Man, Buford's good at this, man.
Yeah.
How does he know? There's a whole corps in front of him, and he knows what's behind them.
Yeah.
That's because of his outriders and the other guys who were riding back in saying, no, that's Longstreet. No, you meant Hill. No, it was they were Alabamans. It was Longstreet.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that's Buford's the man.
I have to pay attention, which causes me to overwork my horses and men. Should I have to fall back, advise me of by what route. Now, we have to remember because we didn't say it. Buford doesn't come in from the south. Buford came in through the Fairfield Pass. He came in through the Monterey Pass. He was following Lee on the other side of South Mountain.
That's right, yeah.
He's in the valley.
Yes.
And when he arrives in Gettysburg, he's arriving from the west.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doesn't he run in this? Is it Pettigrew that's outside Fairfield?
That's once he gets here.
Yeah.
Once he gets here, then he's turned
North
into
Carolina regiment, wasn't it?
Yeah, someone was outside Fairfield, and then he ended up going back down and coming up the Emmitsburg instead to avoid it.
Yeah, it was Fountaindale is where it was.
Yeah.
Where is Fountaindale anyway?
I don't know. I have to pull out an old map. But so, what happens?
Oh.
Third Corps attacks. Second Corps is coming in from the north with 2 divisions. 1 division stranded. First, Heath's division launches the attack. Then Pender's division comes in behind, makes the attack, and Longstreet's in traffic. Doesn't get all the way across the gap until it's starting to get dark. He has to ride up by himself just to meet with Lee. And so we'll bring my corps is like, they're on the way to Pittsburgh, for Pete's sake. No, they're trying, because the Cashtown Pass becomes a choke point. All right? Imagine if Longstreet's crossing the Monterey Pass, which Lee is aware of because he uses it to get out of here. His combat regiments, his combat brigades, when they're retreating, go through the Monterey Pass. Mm-hmm. The Cashtown Pass is used for the wagon trains of wounded.
Right.
His combat forces go through, so he's certainly aware of the Monterey Pass.
Right.
He has these hyper-accurate maps from Jedediah Hotchkiss that Jackson had commissioned. It certainly shows the mountain passes. Why does he bring them all up to Chambersburg? Why doesn't he leave 2 or 3 divisions in Hagerstown?
Especially because I'm looking at this map here, and when he does that, he already knows that the Union Army is closer than where he thought.
He knows they're coming up. He knows they're coming up from Frederick.
Right. So why wouldn't you want to possibly take advantage of the Monterey Pass?
Or why wouldn't you want to grab that Gettysburg intersection before they can concentrate?
Yeah. Yeah, or head him off at Emmitsburg. I don't even know.
And that's why Reynolds, by the way, first remember Reynolds, Major General John Reynolds, for our new listeners, about to get a bullet in the head, but never mind that. Is
not the new listeners. He's not John Reynolds.
He's not in command.
I just wanted to clarify.
Excellent distinction.
In this day and age, we must be careful.
Anything can happen here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cheers.
Reynolds is in command of the left wing. So Reynolds is in command of 1st Corps, he's in command of 11th Corps, and he's giving directions to 3rd Corps. Where's he go? Emmitsburg. Mm-hmm. Because we don't know he's not coming that way. Wants to be the new chief of staff. George Meade wants to appoint Andrew Humphreys. Humphreys says you can't change chief of staff in the middle of a maneuver toward battle. Plus, I like the command I have. I've just got taken over a division. I'm kicking him into shape. I have to put up with General Dan. But other than that, I don't want to give him my field command. Okay, well, you're going to do me a favor. And he sends Andrew Humphreys to Reynolds because Andrew Humphreys is one of the nation's premier military engineers. And Humphreys is scouting out the roads leading in from Waynesboro. He's selecting defensive positions in case we're going to have the Battle of Emmitsburg.
Right.
And then when General Dan starts moving everything north toward Gettysburg, Humphreys comes riding back, says, "Where are all my men?" They left without him because he's out there scouting out defensive positions to help Reynolds in case Emmitsburg's going to be where the fight is, because they're also aware of the Monterey Pass and the danger it poses. Instead, what happens is Lee has a 6th division and turns into a 7th division because Clubby Johnson's division comes down from Carlisle and goes into the Cashtown Pass. So there's 7 divisions. Well, he leaves Pickett behind. So there's 6 divisions trying to squeeze through the Cashtown Pass.
What'd you call him? Clubby Johnson?
Yeah, Edward Johnson.
Well, that was his nickname, Clubby?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
He was wounded, had damaged his leg, and so he carried a lot of mounted to a huge shillelagh around.
Okay.
And he could use it as a cane, and it could also crack your skull with it because it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they called him Clubby.
Yeah, Allegheny Johnson was his official nickname,
right.
but a lot of people called him Clubby, and I think Clubby's easier to remember.
I like
it's more
Clubby.
Visual,
Yeah.
Tourists seem to like it. But, you may know that, Rhodes and Early are coming down from the north. There's no room for Johnson's division. He's the newest division to the Corps. So he goes all the way back, not quite to Chambersburg, but he goes all the way back into the valley and gets in front of Longstreet, crossing the Cashtown Pass.
Yeah.
And it's like Longstreet's ready. And here's this guy. And not only that, it gets worse. Johnson has the Corps wagon trains with him. So he's got Rhodes and Early's baggage trains,
right,
along with his own. This is like a miles-long line of wagons, and Longstreet message.
Just got to wait.
I would have liked to.
And
I'd like to see what he had. The words that were flowing out of it, but he rides up.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible. Now imagine if Lafayette McLaws's division, Longstreet's Corps, crosses the Monterey Pass at 11 a.m. and marches up the Fairfield Road and hits Seminary Ridge at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the same time that Pender and Heath's division are hitting from the front, and he hits them in the flank.
Yeah. Where exactly on Old Route 30 is that traffic jam? Is it coming up like about Caledonia?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That intersection there? Because he's coming from Shippensburg, isn't he?
Yeah, and
Johnson?
and some are coming in from Greenwoods and some are coming from New Guilford, but the whole damn thing's a traffic jam.
It's a mess.
Where they're particularly stuck, I don't know, but Mr. Ed's Elephant Museum's a pretty good spot because there's no feeding roads there. You're on a one-road road there. There's nothing.
Because that's what I'm thinking. Like if I'm Longstreet, I'm stuck there. I would try to get orders to be able to go down the Ortana Road today out of Cashtown. But you're not there yet.
You're not there yet.
So you can't even do that.
No, it is a bottleneck.
Yeah,
and as a result, Longstreet, which is arguably Lee's most potent corps.
Yeah.
Hard hitters, the Texas Brigade and all of them. Only two-thirds of it arrives on the battlefield by noon of July 2nd. Mm-hmm. And Pickett doesn't arrive until evening of July 2nd. More than half the battle, his biggest corps missed.
Yeah. All because of the traffic jam?
Because Longstreet couldn't get up.
And that's on the 1st.
Yeah.
But I guess it's up to nighttime, right?
I mean, there's this controversy that I don't think is much of a controversy, but there's a bunch of guys who say Longstreet should have launched his attack in the morning. It's very specifically said and confirmed by Walter Taylor and others that Longstreet said Hood's division's not fully here yet. The Alabama Brigade is still coming in. It's the biggest brigade in Hood's division. So his division has 4 brigades, biggest one, Alabama Brigade under Brigadier General Evander Law, second in command. When Hood gets wounded, Law takes command. They're not here. They left New Guilford at like midnight. These guys are marching in, as we always talk about the Alabamans, marched 26 miles and then lost their canteens.
Right.
Good grief.
Yeah.
They
have like a 15-minute break, and then they got to get up and move down to the southern end of the field.
Basically, sucks to be you. Yeah. and Lee authorizes that. It's like, I've got these brigades. I've got a brigade missing from Hood's division. Okay, you can wait. And that's why they don't get underway really till between 11 and noon, because that's when Law arrives.
Right.
And everybody else is sitting around making coffee and sleeping and folding up their tents. And Law arrives saying, where do we camp? Says, oh, no, we don't do camp. We're off to the marches.
Right. We got to get going.
Make a right turn and keep going. And I'm like, and
so,
yeah.
Okay.
Now imagine on July 1st, as Scales Brigade, as they're hitting Seminary Ridge, and McLaws comes up and smashes them in the flank. And who's right behind him? John Bell Hood's division, 7,500, going right at Cemetery Hill, which is being defended by 1,300 Union soldiers.
Yeah.
I like his chances.
Yeah, he's got good chances. Yeah. Good odds.
By 2:30 in the afternoon, Lee has captured Gettysburg. He's captured Cemetery Hill. The hill, okay, that's good. What matters is the intersection of the 3 roads that General Meade wants to use to come up. And now he can't. But he's already committed.
Wait, you said
forces.
Lee captured Cemetery Hill?
Yeah, well, I mean...
in this scenario.
In this scenario.
Yeah, it is interesting, because now that you point it out and you look at the map, and Lee's not new to this job. He's not an amateur by any means. You would think that he would see the value of having somebody, in this case Longstreet, go through the Monterey Pass and use the Fairfield Road. It all feeds into Gettysburg. Real quick here.
So we'll ask him.
Mikey B. Oh, I'll read it? Oh, okay. Let's see here. Michael 6 Questions Lens has a super chat. He says, are we certain what Lee intended by giving those orders other than concentrating his army? What was his plan after the 28th of June?
We can't possibly know that because his plan gets determined by events. 28th of June, he orders the concentration Cashtown.
No plans, survives contact with the enemy.
And by then, he's made his mistake.
Yeah. And
Sun Tzu is floating in the trees like a vapor ghost above his tent saying, every battle won or lost before it has ever fought. Guess what, Bobby Lee? You just lost.
Right.
And the best thing you can do is turn around and go back to old Virginia and skip the whole damn battle. But that's not what happens.
All right. So what other instances of Sun Tzu's ghost hovering over a commander here at Gettysburg are there?
No, that's some of his other sayings are of applicability to the Civil War.
Well, Mike has a game that you want to try this little game here, Ralph?
I don't have the game prepared.
Well, you have that one that you did before. I won't play. We'll do it between Court and Ralph, okay? You remember it?
Give me a few seconds to.
All right, go ahead. Let me know when you're ready, okay?
But I can have some other Sun Tzu phrases.
Sounds good.
That I have. I have a little article about this in my book, Peach Orchard, a battlefield tour guide. Ralph Siegel, Mike Malone, $21.95. See some of the other Sun Tzu.
Get it at Amazon.com. Where can they get it?
That's the only place because I'm doing a third edition, so it's not in local stores until my third edition is ready.
Okay.
And then it will be in the local shops because I've had several of them, including For the Historian, ask me, you got any more copies of this book? And I'm like, no. I don't want to reprint. It has some mistakes that have evolved.
Okay.
It's a driving tour, and some of the stops have changed.
Oh, yeah.
Some signs where I tell people to stop aren't there anymore. And the Park Service has also changed its policy about social trails. You're not allowed to walk through the woods anymore.
Oh.
Well, my book tells them to walk through the woods, so I've got to fix some of that.
You're not allowed to walk through the woods, like even through McPherson's woods or anything.
Well,
like
if there's a mowed trail,
Yeah.
otherwise you're not supposed to cut through.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a mowed trail, though, is it? That goes through there.
No, it's not. You're right.
So are we still allowed to use that?
No, you're not. The trail that goes down to the quarry is maintained by the park. You're allowed to do that one. But,
okay.
But going into the Herbst Woods, no, I don't think so. Unless you
because it's not. I mean, unless they maintain that too.
But like a famous one is at the Irish Brigade, and people walk up and cut through the path.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to fix that one.
But that's a runoff, isn't it?
And it's also a very dangerous walk around.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they should formalize that
Yeah.
because it is dangerous for people to walk on that road.
Anyway, other Sun Tzu phrases that you're looking for. Okay, ready?
All right, give us one.
If you see a fork in the road, take it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, that's the books of Sun Yogi. I apologize.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
I've got
Yogi
that
Berra.
mixed up. I've got no. Here's actual Sun Tzu. For it is precisely when a force has fallen into harm's way that it is capable of striking a blow for victory.
In other words, when you're desperate.
You think you've fallen into harm's way, but now you have a chance for victory as the beaten and bloodied Army of the Potomac, drum roll please, takes position on Cemetery Hill.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
I love the Sun Tzu stuff.
Yeah.
I just love it.
No, that's good.
I love
That's
it.
good.
I'm a huge... Another Sun Tzu.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
This is heavy, Mike. Are you ready?
You ready, Mikey?
I'm ready. Go.
Always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours.
That's Yogi Berra, too.
I'm sorry, you're right.
He's kind of taking the game away from us.
I know, he's kind of ruining the game
Great
here.
quote,
We had a
though,
game called
isn't it great?
Sun Tzu or Who Knew, and that
Or you know who.
Otherwise, they won't come to yours. I just love that one.
no, it's Who Knew because it's like, who knew he said that?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This is a great one. Chapter 4, saying 2. This one is legendary. This is used in a lot of books. You see this one used a lot. And this is not this is literal. It's not interpreted. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself.
Mm. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is good.
How does Coke beat Pepsi?
Yeah. Pepsi will tell you.
Just let Pepsi be Pepsi.
Yeah, yeah.
Thus and I say here an example, the relentless aggressiveness of the Army of Northern Virginia. They always hit first and think later.
Yeah.
Attack, attack, attack. And that was the key to their defeat.
Okay.
Meade not tricked them, but Meade anticipated their aggressiveness, took a firm position on good ground and said, come on, get me. And Lee spent the next 3 days smashing his army to pieces against the stone wall. Because defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy. Isn't that good?
Yeah, that is good.
Aren't you glad you tuned in?
Yeah.
Force him to reveal himself so as to find out his vulnerable spots. Mm-hmm. Lee never managed, and my comment to that, Lee never managed to draw out Meade's army or attain a clear grasp of the Union force that was in front of him. He will say after the war he didn't think the entire Union army was up.
Yeah.
Force him to reveal himself so as to find out his vulnerable spots.
That's so true. I mean, Buford's report that you just gave arriving just a few hours after getting Gettysburg was far more information than Lee ever had for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
So
another famous one. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you're a mile away from them and you have their shoe.
I don't think that's
Sun Yogi. Yes. Master Yogi Su.
Real quick here, Michael 6 Questions lends with another super chat. He says, I need to go. This is a fun and thoughtful episode. Much better because I was not there for this one. Thank you, Ralph, for expanding my understanding of the battle in a creative way. Michael, that is not true. It's always good when you're here. But there you go. Real quick, let's do. Mike's got one here for you that we want to do, and we'll do this between Courtney and Ralph. And the song or the name of the show is what, Mikey?
I don't know.
The name of the song is Sun Tzu or You Know Who.
Yeah. So you have to guess if it's a Sun Tzu quote or a Gettysburg commander quote.
Yeah.
Oh, Gettysburg commander. Okay.
All right.
So I didn't screw it up all that much. Okay. Good.
So, and we had a bunch of them. We'll just go 2 quick ones.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
There you go.
If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Who said that? Sun Tzu or who knew?
Sun Tzu. Courtney comes in with Sun Tzu. Is that correct, Michael?
It is correct.
That is correct. Very good.
Job.
Yay.
All
right. Next one.
Let's see. The next one is, why not? What the heck? What's the worst that can happen? Is that Sun Tzu or a Gettysburg general?
That's a Gettysburg general.
Which one?
Why not? What the heck?
Why not? What the heck? What's the worst that could happen? It is a general at Gettysburg. You are correct, but who said that quote?
Which Gettysburg general said that quote?
That was Strong Vince. No,
it should be something that General Dan said, but
there you go.
Was it really?
General Dan.
Is it really?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
I got away with murdering a dude.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Can't be worse than that.
It's me, General Dan.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right, that's enough of that. You want more? Go ahead. Give us more.
I got 3 good ones. I think they're good. But people will frequently ask us, probably you guys too, why are they marching in those lines? You know,
I still ask myself this question.
Well, and I'm glad.
And I've heard the answer over and over again.
Now you will get the answer.
Go ahead.
From how many years? 1,400 years ago.
What? Yeah.
A host, thus forming a single united body.
An army.
A line. Mm-hmm. Forming a single united body. It is impossible either for the brave to advance alone or for the cowardly to retreat alone.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth?
So that's why you have that shoulder-to-shoulder line. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got the one guy who's a little psycho and wants to charge up the side of the hill, and you got the other 3 guys who are looking back saying, can we go back there?
Yeah.
But because you're in a line, the united body holds them together.
Yeah.
Together we will see it through.
Yes.
Meade followed Sun Tzu's advice, even though he never heard him, but maybe he just got this one from the vapors in the air. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, he gets criticized for not interfering with these army, but maybe it's like, they're leaving.
Yeah.
Let them leave.
Yeah.
It's like when I get hungry and there's traffic on the way to the restaurant.
I wonder what the thought process is behind that. Is it that they're going to fight to get home?
Don't get in their way.
Yeah.
They're leaving. Good riddance. See ya.
Makes sense.
Don't get in the way because, they can turn around and fight. I don't know. That's what makes Sun Tzu
find the spirit. We held hands.
Be careful.
Well, I mean, I guess it's true. Like if you really give good. Well, look what happens when he catches up to him on the river. They're ready for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and he could have gotten snake bit for sure.
Yeah. So let him go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
hold on loosely.
Remember that.
Hold on loosely.
The spirit of Sun Tzu floating in the trees above Messersmith Woods is apparently he was hanging around at Chancellorsville House. 2 months earlier. Wow. He was hanging around with Joe Hooker. To begin by bluster, but afterwards to take fright at the enemy's numbers, shows a supreme lack of intelligence. You know, shoot your mouth off at the beginning and then freak out. You're stupid. That's as close as he calls to somebody stupid. I think it's the only use of the word intelligence in the book. Because I remember, you know, you can pull the electric versions down and then you can search sort. You know, and I seem to remember that's the only
might have been hanging around McClellan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about the physics of ghosts tonight.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
They're just
when catapults are outlawed, only outlaws will have catapults.
Well,
that was him. That was him.
You hear that to this very day in the gun debate.
Less from Sun Tzu than from Eric the Red. Always remember to pillage before you burn.
Some good.
In warfare, this should be Sun Tzu. This should be Sun Tzu. In warfare, teamwork is essential. It gives them someone else to shoot at.
These are good life advices.
Yes. I don't know who that one is from. Certainly not from Yogi Berra, because he didn't write about war.
Right. No.
He was more about baseball, which, of course, as you know, is 90% mental and the other half physical. Right.
Right.
Yogi Berra.
Did Yogi Berra really say all those things, or are people like? Did he say a few?
There's a museum in Montclair.
Okay.
And the guy who runs the museum, I'm not going to remember his name, he published a little pamphlet that he sells, if they even have a gift shop, it's probably by the cash register, of all the things that are attributed to Yogi Berra that he never said.
I thought
they have a whole pamphlet of it.
No, I mean, nobody could be that bad.
You know.
Right?
Oh, or that ingenious. I mean, they're great.
They are ingenious.
No, they're fantastic.
The funeral one, you got to go to people's funerals or they won't come to yours.
No, I know.
It's just a work of genius.
But the one about the fork in the road, you know,
see a fork in the road.
Deja vu all over again.
Walk a mile in a man's shoes. He heard that expression from somebody, and the only way he could make sense of it is, well, I just walked a mile in your shoes, and guess what? I ain't giving it back to you.
No, you're right. It is kind of smart. I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm just saying, like, unless he was trolling everybody,
or he had a good ghostwriter.
I mean, trolling and gaslighting wasn't a thing then.
Ghostwriter.
I think he meant it in honest good humor.
Yeah, you're right. Those old timers.
My wife knows a guy at the Star Ledger who interviewed him in detail when he retired, and they had an affection for him and felt he was straight ahead what he was.
Yeah.
And that was a time, it's really thick today, but that was a time when the BS wave among celebrity stars was really starting to build up, and Yogi was the antidote.
Yeah.
You know.
Just like that love. I mean, when did he die?
I don't remember. You know,
80s?
He lasted quite a while.
80s or 90s?
We'd have to Google that one on our phone.
I remember him as an old man.
That was recently. It wasn't that long ago.
What?
Yogi Berra?
Yeah.
Google it. Mr. I know when Yogi Berra died.
It's not that long ago.
Please.
2015.
No.
Yeah.
80s or 90s.
What?
80s.
Well, where's he been all this time?
Living life.
He did an infomercial, I think, didn't he? About like life insurance or something.
Yeah.
Reverse mortgages.
Caldwell.
Yeah.
He lived to the age of 90. So when you live to the age of 90, you last a long time.
Matt didn't have something right about sports. I can't believe that.
Yogi Berra.
Some sports
is more than sports.
Yeah, he transcends.
He transcends sports indeed. He is.
His wife died only the year before him.
I knew him before I knew he played any sport.
Yeah.
Like, I just always knew him as that old guy who was on TV. I guess he stopped making public appearances long ago. I don't remember him after, like 1990 something.
Yogi Berra.
And you didn't, he had, if I, Yankee fans are going to call up and complain that you said this wrong. But as I understand it, he had a rocket arm for a guy stealing second base. And he had this little knack that if he wasn't getting the ball there on time, he threw to the right of the plate so it hit the guy. So you want to steal on me? Okay, you're going to make it, but you're going to have a bruise on your leg.
Nice welt.
And somebody confronted him on that and says, "It's not true. It's not true." Yeah, how come everybody who tries to steal on you is end up limping back to the dugout, or holding the side of their head? Because, well, they'll steal the base.
Sounds like he was fun at parties. Okay, so why don't we do this then? We'll take a break and we'll come back. We've got some questions for Ralph from our patrons over at patreon.com/addressinggettysburg. That is really where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. One person told me today, it's the bee's knees. And I agree. It's the bee's knees. And yeah, that's it. So we'll be right back after these words.
Join the fun and learn a ton. Become a member of the AG community at patreon.com/addressinggettysburg.
Okay.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hairs must up on your head. You picture the 20th Maine, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow with Little Ground Top Road.
Hi, I'm a bag of Little Ground Top, and I am delicious. Smell me, and then put me in your coffee maker at home. Oh, where'd my song go?
Same place the voice.
Oh boy. Oh, there wasn't the long version. What a shame. I'm so upset. Anyway, yes. And so, I am delicious. And by the way, I am now available in 18 pounds. Now, I'm not saying I'm 18 pounds. I'm 1 pound. You understand? But there's 18 just like me on the shelves every week at Bantam Roasters. The only problem is we usually sell out by Monday. So you better get it fast. Better yet, if you're in town and you can't find us at Bantam, then you can go to the Ragged Edge on Chambersburg Street and also find us there. But we also sell out there pretty quickly. So I recommend you go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe and buy a bag of me, Little Ground Top. Ralph, you like Little Ground Top, don't you?
My wife is very fond of Little Ground Top, although I don't know if I want to bring home a bag of coffee that talks like that.
Where'd you find the bag, Ralph?
Yeah.
How many other bags you
Hi,
got?
I'm a bag of Little Ground Top.
Oh, this bag has already been emasculated for some reason. Some kind of terrible accident. It talks like this now.
Yes, well, it's a lovely pastel-colored label.
Frequently, we're out of Little Ground Top. Who's the singer in the commercial, by the way?
That is Nanette Hankins, and that is actually AI.
Oh, that's scary.
Do you believe that? Let's listen to that again. For all the...
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hairs must up on your head.
She's not singing.
You picture the 20th
There's no she.
Maine.
I don't want to turn it off. Turn it off. No, you can have this back. I don't know. I don't want it anymore.
Destroyed his faith in humanity.
That's terrifying.
The only thing created by a human being there were the lyrics. Everything else was AI. Anyway, Ralph, please bring that home to your wife. You're going to have to get it ground according to how you make your coffee.
We have a grinder.
There you go. Oh, there you go. So you can grind it yourself. Go grind it yourself,
I just
Ralph.
have to find it now. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And tell her thank you for the hospitality when she puts up with us on cigar night.
Yes.
I appreciate that a lot. It's always
We're
nice.
lucky
tonight.
she's watching right now.
Yes, hopefully she is. Hello. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, you should go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe. That's CAFE. And you can order it. You can order it as a subscription, or you can just order it as you need it, and they will get it to you. Please allow, it depends on when you order. Allow up to 2 weeks, because sometimes if you order after Wednesday, you got to wait another week. So there you go. That's it. Little Ground Top, addressinggettysburg.com/cafe. This is the wrong one.
You're back with Matt and Beth.
Is that the name of the Little Ground Top? Beth?
That's Beth is the singer, Little Ground Top. Ladies and gentlemen, patrons are the greatest people on earth. They certainly are. They make it so that Well, all of this is possible, and one of the things we let them do is participate in this show long before you ever see or hear it. And with our wonderful patrons here, I don't even know if some of these people are still patrons, let's put it that way, because these are the original questions from the first time we did the show back. When was that, last year?
Yeah,
that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, early in last year.
It was like in the winter or spring of last year.
Yeah.
Not
that it did us any good.
No, it didn't do us any good at all.
Yeah.
But here we go. We're going to start off with our first question from patron, perhaps current, perhaps former, we don't know. Chris Appel. He says, this may have been discussed already with Lee's order for Ewell to attack Cemetery Hill, but I thought Ralph might be able to provide a unique perspective into Sun Tzu's principle that it is the responsibility of the general to make sure all orders are clear, distinct, and thoroughly understood. Could he talk about how much more important and difficult that becomes in a situation like the 11th Corps, where Germans are having to take orders in English? Does he say anything about speak the same language as your troops?
I don't think that would have occurred to him.
Pull that mic closer to your mouth, please.
I don't think that would have occurred to them. Anyway, we got these questions in advance.
Yes.
In preparing for the broadcast that then was deleted and destroyed.
No, I still have.
Buried in the basement of the National Archives somewhere. So I looked these things up.
Okay.
So
then let me just read the rest of his question and then you answer.
I thought that, well, you got more?
Oh, yeah.
Mine only got that far. Okay.
All right. So the rest of it is also, I've always had an issue with the Sun Tzu adage about no country ever benefited from prolonged warfare. From Napoleon and Hitler invading Russia, Vietnam, etc., many wars have been won by one side dragging out the conflict. Hindsight is 20/20, but in your opinion, would it have gone better for the Confederacy to go with a defensive stance that caused as much time, death, and material costs as possible, as opposed to going for the decisive battle that would become Gettysburg? Now you can answer this question.
So much to bite off.
Yes, there is.
And anyway, if you download Sun Tzu in an advanced PDF from that MIT site, it's searchable. And so I searched to try to answer some of these questions, and I could find nothing really direct about making your orders understood, except in the biography written by the famous Susama Chen,
of course,
who wrote a biography of Sun Tzu in 90 BC, helping us document that he actually existed because he's got a biography. It must have been something,
right?
It's still not definitive proof, but... And Susama Chen, when he wrote his biography, apparently added some phrases of his own and made it sound like they were Sun Tzu's.
Okay.
And he has this attribution: if words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, the general is to blame.
Makes sense.
After you read that 3 or 4 times, it becomes kind of freaking obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I issue orders, you don't understand them, it's my fault. It's not your fault, unless you're German, in which case it is your fault because you don't speak English. But that's the closest we got. Sun Tzu never addressed making your orders clear. I think it may have been like like I don't have to say this. I don't have to scratch this down on the bamboo scrolls because we're going to, breathe while talking. We don't have to write it down.
Right.
There is a Sun Tzu that applies to that German thing a bit. Chapter 10, saying 18, when the general is weak and without authority, when his orders are not clear and distinct, when there are no fixed duties assigned to officers and men, and the ranks are formed in a slovenly and haphazard manner, the result is utter disorganization. All right, well, yeah, but there's 11 things going wrong all at the same time. In other words, there's nobody in charge at all. But that is one of his sayings that kind of comes, within the if you don't make distinct orders. But it's orders plus, assigning duties to officers and men. They don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. The result is disorganization. Yeah, okay. That's what you go to Harvard to get an MBA to learn that. And then the prolonged warfare. My interpretation there is that Sun Tzu, it's from a phrase, there is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare, chapter 2, subsection, saying number 6. But chapter 2 is entitled The Art of Making War. So it implies these are sayings that apply to people who are starting a war.
Okay.
Who are going on the offensive. Yeah. Where the examples he has about people using terrain to defend against an invader. So that's not really what he's talking about. Vietnam, Russia, and so same for the Confederacy, just falling back on the defensive, and the invader will wear himself out because nobody benefits from prolonged warfare. I don't know that really applies to Confederates because I'm not sure about Chris Apple's reading habits, but the North didn't start the war.
Fair point. Yeah.
So,
unless you got to consider resources. I mean, the Confederacy probably couldn't afford to have a drawn-out war.
I mean, isn't that kind of the reason Lee comes up here is they don't have the resources?
Because it's already gone way past due.
Yeah.
And they thought this would last 6 months.
Right. Before we go on to the next one, we got a caller here. James D., you're on the air, sir.
Hey, Matt. Aldersman Broderson.
Alderson Broderson to you as well.
Yes, sir. I am loving this topic, man.
Great.
Good.
But I have to take disagree with Ralph. I have to take disagreement with Ralph about the place where Lee lost the battle before it was fought. I would argue that Lee lost the battle or the campaign when he sent his best intelligence officer 100 miles away.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Could it be more than one thing lost the battle before it ever began for Lee?
It's a strong. It's a good exercise in using that phrase.
Yeah.
So you're thinking. You're thinking to apply the phrase. Can that phrase be applied in different ways? Yeah, we know Lee lost the battle. What did he do? That's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as decisive. Yes, the cavalry is off on a wild goose chase. Does it really lose him the battle? One of the problems is that in the post-war time, we're getting off the point a little bit, but in the post-war time, it was very important to exonerate Robert E. Lee of any blame for losing the battle. And so all of a sudden, Jeb Stuart, James Longstreet, Richard Ewell, and for Pete's sake, I don't know, Dorsey Pender, for all I know, it became everybody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because it couldn't be Master Robert's fault because we were about to deify him as the saint of the lost cause.
Yeah.
And I think Jeb Stuart gets some of that. Yes, Lee was advancing toward Gettysburg without a clear understanding of what was in front of him. If he had a better understanding, he may have moved with more alacrity. He may have captured Cemetery Hill. He did say that he was, after hard marches in dry weather and dusty roads, that he had an eye toward the comfort of his men. So he wasn't pushing them as hard as he could. It's a weird way that he phrased it, but what he means, he doesn't want to exhaust them.
Yeah.
Make him go 25 miles a day, and then tomorrow we're going to fight a battle. I can't even get him out of bed.
Right.
Where Meade is pushing them as hard as physical tolerance will allow. He will say that in a letter to Cooch in
Couch.
Harrisburg. The couch, the Cooch. You say potato, I say Cooch. But in any case, he sends him a letter saying, I'm pushing the men as hard as physically possible.
Yeah.
There's a difference as they're coming to the battle. So Stuart not being here, it definitely has him at disadvantage. Does it really lose him the battle? Or was that a little post-war? My opinion is Messerschmitt Woods is a stronger case for, oops.
But I would argue...
But it's not a bad argument.
But I would say that it could be both. I mean, he lost the battle. You need your eyes and ears.
You do.
If I pluck out my eyes and cut off my ears...
That's why
then I go outside and get hit by a car... I did that. I got hit by that car before I ever stepped foot outside because I got rid of my eyes and ears. And then if I go outside and I don't know, I'm losing my analogy here, but my point is that I think there's several things, but Messerschmitt Woods is probably, I would say, maybe the the final decision that sealed the defeat.
Yeah.
And well, part of that too, the hard part about the cavalry thing is, isn't Stuart just as much to blame for who he brings with him and who he leaves back?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sure, Lee sends him away, but if he takes Jenkins and Imboden with him and leaves, maybe Lee or some other Hampton back, it could be completely different.
He could have taken Grumble Jones. He could have taken Jenkins. I mean, he hates Grumble Jones and Jenkins. In Bowdoin, those are partisans, so that's not really regular army
I meant to say Robertson or...
Yeah, but he could have, he takes his best brigades with him because, I want to. I'm the commander. And I'm going to take my good brigades.
Right.
And I'm going to advance into Washington and chase Robert. I'm going to chase Abraham Lincoln around the White House with a sword. But at least the questioner, I lost the name.
James D.
At least James is right, which a lot of people aren't. When a topic of Stuart comes up, is that remember Lee sent him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So oops. Lee did send him, and a misjudgment there is how fast Hooker was going to move the Army of the Potomac north. They misjudged that.
Yeah.
And that's really the only reason Stuart doesn't reconnect with the army.
Yeah.
They don't expect.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all those battles. He's trying to get back. It's not like he's out there not trying to reconnect with the army. So
I did a hypothetical circumnavigation driving tour, in which I spent most of the time pretty damn lost. I didn't know where we were, but the tour guide did, and it was a hypothetical drive of the army not leaving Virginia. If they cross at Leesburg, if the Army of the Potomac crosses the Potomac River at all, the circumnavigate is impossible. The roads are just not there. In order for Stuart to have done the entire ride around, the Army has to be in Virginia.
Right. They have to stay down there.
Yeah. Straddling at Leesburg, starting to cross Edwards Ferry, wherever no, we can't because there's no road.
Right.
Once he himself crosses the Potomac, he's kind of screwed.
Yeah.
He can follow the railroad, but the railroad goes right into the flank of the Army of the Potomac. Other than that, everything's north. Everything's going toward York. Everything's going toward Manchester. He's following the roads north. There's no way for him to go that way, even if the Yankees aren't in the way, which they are.
Yeah. James,
it's a good question.
That was a good question. Thank you very much for...
He is imbued with the spirit of Sun Tzu.
He is.
And we go forward in peace. There we go.
There you go.
I love the topic. And it could be both a strategic level and a tactical level, so both can apply.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more than one thing contributes to everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
You have a good one.
Thank you very much. Bye.
717-420-1978 is the phone number if you want to call in like James just did. I think it was Grant, but he calls himself Richard this time. Just was in the queue. I was just about to get to you and you hung up. Give us a call back there. In the meantime, Brian Derenick says, he told me how to pronounce it. Now I get it confused. Anyway, Brian says, can Ralph talk about any examples of Union or Confederate commanders who may have indoctrinated some form of the military philosophies of Sun Tzu in their military careers?
It's an easy one to answer. No.
Yes. Nobody heard of him.
But what leads to another famous saying, tea tastes better if the latrines are dug downstream from the encampment. General Yogi Berra. No, I don't know who it is. I think I said it, frankly, because
that's from the horse soldiers.
That's from
There's an argument that they're having.
Scott Peer has the same kind of question. Was it part of the curriculum? No. I don't know what this is.
Actually, here, and let me, Evan Clapsaddle also says, are there any references to Sun Tzu from Germany, military school instructors, officers, or politicians of the Civil War era? So you want to answer that one there?
No.
Okay, no.
Rick can't read it. There's no text for him to read till Giles in 1910. And how many people got that?
Right. Now, how long did I write exactly?
British Museum Magazine Quarterly. I mean, how many? I don't know where they.
Because, like you said, if you go on Amazon now and you type in the Art of War, there's like 1,400 entries.
Just this afternoon, 1,400, more than 1,400.
But how long did it take? Like, who was it in the non-military, non-academic world who got a hold of it and said, "Hey, I could do something with this"?
I know some of the World War II generals were very familiar with it.
Yep.
So it must have spread pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by World War II, definitely.
Eisenhower read Sun Tzu.
Okay.
Patton, I think, talks about it. I'm not positive on that. I'm not a big Patton guy, but I know Eisenhower was aware of it. He doesn't make reference to it in any of his books, but he was aware of it. I don't know how influential it really is, but I don't, I just don't know.
Yeah. Rick Scare says, would you discuss 1850s, 60s West Point military theory science a little? In particular, were there multiple courses like today in college where there may be an intro and advance in a given subject? Was the content completely Napoleonic/European centric?
And Rick has since passed the guide exam.
That's right. Congratulations, Rick.
Guide.
Yes.
And so he knows now the answer to his own question, and he's lucky it wasn't on the exam.
And Rick, now you're invited to come on this show whenever you're ready as an Ask a Guide. I know a lot of people who just got the license. I've invited them on, and they're like, I'm not ready yet. And I understand that.
Well, you had Nancy on, didn't you? You had her on.
Nancy was on as a reverend talking about
a reverend topic.
A reverend. Yes, talking about chaplains in. But now Nancy is welcome to come on as a guide for an Ask a Guide.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Andrew Ondish, he says, what if any of Sun Tzu's applies in the decision of Lee to fight at Gettysburg? We kind of talked about that. Seems like according to Sun Tzu, Lee should have avoided battle since he lacked the information needed to make tactically sound decisions. So he's kind of going along with James D there. The other big thing I wanted to ask is how well do Longstreet's arguments follow Sun Tzu throughout the battle, specifically regarding his arguments against what becomes Longstreet's assault on July 3rd.
I worked on that one for a long time.
Did you now?
To try to find a phrase to answer it. I liked the question, and I came up with Chapter 9, saying number 18 as to the reason to not make the charge, which is not exactly what he asked, but it's in the vicinity. When the enemy is close at hand and remains quiet, he is relying on the natural strength of his position. If he is close at hand, you're nearby, but he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
That means he knows he's in a good position and he's waiting for you to do something, which is not what it says, but it is. It's a good way to read it.
It's also a great quote in the movie Gettysburg where he says something like, Meade's here, it's because he wants us to attack.
Yeah. Longstreet did say, Longstreet claimed he did say that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the enemy is close at hand, remains quiet, they're up there on Cemetery Ridge, but they're not doing anything. They're waiting for us to attack.
Now, did he also say, he who occupies the high ground is secure, he who occupies a peach orchard without orders is sickles?
Yes, he did.
He did.
He said that.
I wanted to make sure.
100 BC.
Yes.
The genius of foresight.
Yes. And nobody who read it.
That might have been closer to Sun Bin.
Okay.
Because they connected each other with the loss of kneecaps.
Yes, right.
Because Sickles is down one kneecap.
Yeah.
The doctor that night has to amputate what's left of his leg.
Right.
So that monument over by the Trossel barn is literally a monument to his kneecap.
It's probably there somewhere.
I've been looking around for it in the dirt. I think Jim Hessler found it and has it at home.
You think so?
But don't say that on TV.
Okay. Well, thank God this isn't live.
But they say that's why he lost his leg. No, the leg was still on.
Yeah, it was hanging there. Yeah, but the kneecap got blown off.
The kneecap's gone. It was just like Sun Bin, who had his kneecaps removed.
Oh, God.
Well, people walk their dogs out there and stuff.
Yeah, probably a dog picked it up one time just thinking it was a regular old bone, just chewing on a kneecap.
Oh, look at Fido. Found it on the battlefield.
Oh, there's another phrase that was in the same chapter, right next phrase, it's phrase number 19. When he keeps aloof and tries to provoke a battle, he is anxious for the other side to advance.
Yep. It's like that guy who lets the drunk at the bar mouth off to him and start moving into his personal space and start shoving him and just stands there because he knows how to knock a guy out in one punch. And this guy is cruising for a bruising. Yeah. And he just lets him do it. Okay. Is that it, Ralph? Is that all you got?
I think we're... I read you some of the other ones, and I think we will leave it with Sun Tzu's "Never forget that your weapon is made by the lowest bidder." Okay, I don't think he said that either.
But that's true, though.
Yes. And then I think I already gave you, always remember to pillage before you burn. I think that's Eric the Red.
That's a good one.
And I love the teamwork. Teamwork is essential. It gives them someone else to shoot at.
Well, Ralph, I appreciate you coming in and doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy that delicious bag of little ground top.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh, yes, indeed, for sure. And what's your name? Court? Thank you back there. You want to try, have you been able to work on your Ralph impersonation during the show? You want to give it another go?
Give me a sample phrase, Ralph, if you would.
Read a Sun Tzu quote.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Just speak to yourself.
That was it.
Yourself.
I don't really...
Go ahead. I don't know what you... Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, and this whole... It's starting to piss me off a little.
It's starting to piss me off a little.
See, now he's still doing James Gandolfini.
I'll get it.
I'm picturing the Bada Bing, Bada Boom Club, you know?
Yeah.
You're starting to piss me off a little bit.
Yeah, well, listen, I hope you had a fun night today with us, Ralph. Thank you very much for coming in. Court, good job in the back there. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who sent in a super chat. Thanks to everybody who called in, all the patrons just everybody out there. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful. Mikey B, thank you very much for doing your job here as third chair. And, of course, thank all of you who watched with us live tonight and listen later on. We'll talk to you next time, okay?
Thank you, Sun Tzu.
Bye-bye, Sun Tzu. Oh, still didn't hit my post. I will never get this right.
Addressing Gettysburg's Ask a Gettysburg Guide is hosted by Matt Calorie with Mikey B. Bariski, and Courtney Micker. Produced by Matt Calorie and Courtney Micker. Guides appear gratis, but they would love for you to hire them for a tour on your next visit to the battlefield. To be put in touch with one, send an email to matt@addressinggettysburg.com. Thanks for watching.
Our hearts so stout have got us fame, forsooth 'tis known from whence we came. Wherever we go, they tread the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead of smile, drink down ale, and pay the reckoning on the mail. No man forget shall go to jail from Gary Owen in glory. Instead of smile, drink down ale, and pay
What
the
is
reckoning
that?
on the mail. No man forget shall go to jail from Gary Owen in glory.
I'm the happiest girl in the whole USA.